Welcome to my presentation. The topic of my presentation is the power within the possibility of authentic artwork in education. My name is Elizabeth Henshaw. I am an associate professor in elementary education. I teach social studies in elementary education and concepts in education to diverse learners. Social studies and art education are my professional areas. I have deep passion for teacher preparation with a special focus on how to help teacher candidates to become catalysts in promoting cross-cultural awareness in schools and the society, and to acquire strategies for developing in the youth sensitivity to human differences. The power within authentic artworks can revolutionize the world and bring about cross-cultural understanding, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence. The underlying purpose of my work is therefore to inebriate the youth through education to become proactive in fostering cross-cultural understanding, accommodation, and peaceful coexistence. From research and publications, and through my many years as an art and social studies educationist, it is my conviction that the power within authentic artworks has not been adequately utilized in education to expand the value of cross-cultural understanding and appreciation of cultural differences within our global community. Art is loaded with cultural beliefs and values of the society from which it emanates. In this paper, therefore, I will first provide brief definitions of art, culture, and diversity as they relate to my ethnographic study on the power within authentic art, then take you through the research before presenting my findings. What is art? Art is an expression or application of human creative skill and imagination, producing works to be appreciated primarily for their beauty or emotional power. Art can also be represented in various forms, some of which are, but not limited to, paintings, music, literature, and dance. According to R.C. Collingwood, cited in the Cambridge History of Philosophy of 1870 to 1945 in page 729, art is primarily an internal or mental thing, something, as we commonly say, existing in his head, and there only, something of the kind which we commonly call an experience. Secondly, it is a bodily or a perceptible thing, a picture, statue, and so on. From the internal or mental aspect, it therefore becomes imperative to state that the true meaning of every artwork lies in the heart of the artist, which is being portrayed externally in pictures, statues, paintings, and so forth. What is culture? Briefly speaking, culture is a way of life of a people. It is the values, beliefs, customs, and traditions expressed by a people through their language that affect the ways they perceive, interact, and think about the world and the other peoples of the world. What is diversity? Diversity is the perception of individual differences as unique and valuable tools for achieving unity and harmony. It is a reform movement designed to bring social justice, equality, and tolerance into the education of the learners. In other words, it is how to cope with human differences, whether in schools, communities, countries, or in our world. The power within authentic artwork can bring about positive social change in a pluralistic society. Unity in diversity. Because of the continuous and rapid shrinking of our world, it is imperative for us to establish unity in diversity of people with different cultures, different values, and different languages who are struggling to coexist harmoniously. To achieve unity in diversity, it is important to do the following. First, examine the importance of exploring diverse cultures and values in education, kindergarten through 12, through the arts. Second, explore the significance of global understanding in the contemporary education of kindergarten through 12 of the teachers. Third, discover the implications that different cultures and different values can have on teaching and learning in grade schools, especially kindergarten through 12th grade. The interconnecting cultural traits of human diversity symbolizes the mystery and the complexity of individuals in our pluralistic societies and our global village. In the past, classrooms were homogeneous, but present-day classrooms are heterogeneous. This, however, offers opportunities for cross-cultural learning through the arts. If, therefore, the power within authentic artworks is effectively utilized in culturally responsive education, it will cater for the challenges caused by the changing faces in contemporary societies and in the classrooms. It will provide opportunities for interactions, cross-cultural learning and understanding. It will also foster tolerance of human differences. It will reduce intentional and unintentional discrimination, stereotyping, and hate crimes. It will also inspire harmonious global coexistence. As classroom teachers, we can instill traits of leadership, openness, understanding, and respect for human differences through art-based experiences. We can also provide students with opportunities to immerse themselves in diverse cultural activities through social interactions with and within schools, communities, learning centers, social gatherings, and cultural activities. We, as teachers, also can model understanding, tolerance, and acceptance of individual differences through the appreciation of artwork from different cultures. Art in society, past and present, refer to art from different countries and cultures of the world. They are all renowned and appreciated for their functional and aesthetic qualities. For this study, a handful of authentic artworks were selected as samples to explain the importance of understanding the environment and the cultural settings of the art. This information is crucial for validating their aesthetic qualities. Also, aside from the bold, naturalistic, and exotic features in African arts, the major difference between the Western and African arts in this study is that Western arts and styles are identified with the producers, whereas names of those who produced ancient African artworks are unknown. Beach at Trouville. This is one of Monet's beach scenes painted in the summer of 1870. The Starry Night of Van Gogh. Many feel that the painting depicts his turbulent quest to overcome his illness. Pablo Picasso's Acrobat on a Ball was painted in 1905. This painting represented a playful period in Pablo's artistic career. He was inspired by a female acrobat performing in the Circuit Medrano. The Poor Fisherman of Paul Gauguin. This represents the isolation, poverty, and moral grandeur of the painter himself. Fog Warning was painted in 1885 by Winslow Homer. It reflects Winslow's passion for solitude. He was inspired after spending 1 year out at sea, and solitude is a common theme in most of his artwork. The following set of artworks are from Nigeria. They were all produced by unknown artists. Most of them were done long before the 18th century. The artworks were carried out under the auspices of the rulers for ritual and ceremonial purposes and to adorn their palaces. The Festac symbol, carbon dated 1897, is a replica of Queen Idia of Benin. The royal bronze represents the exotic beauty of Queen Idia, Queen Mother of King Ezekiel of Benin. The original one was casted in ivory and can be seen in British Museum. Nok art from north central Nigeria, dated 500 BC to 200 AD. It is the most ancient known cultural art in Africa. It is magnificent, and it is the most ancient known cultural art in the whole of Africa. It is a highly developed plastic art of international repute, representing a balance in naturalism with stylization. Ife heads are stately and magnificent. This particular one represents the divinity of sea and of wealth. Ife heads as a whole display a sense of maturity and poise, thus they suggest a highly developed stage of civilization. Tada bronze figure, dated between the 12th and 15th century, represents serenity and solidity. It is perhaps the most important bronze sculpture in Black Africa. It sits with poise, ease, and composure. The appearance, though rigid, displays serenity and inner cohesion. Ekpu figurine from Oron in southeastern Nigeria represents deceased chiefs. It is renowned for its exotic and unique characteristics. A Koi monolith from Cross River State of Nigeria is placated in stone. It represents a dead chief. It is not an object of worship, but as a visible symbol for an invisible being. These pictures depict a communal spirit in the family and a unique appreciation of life in the traditional African family, both past and present. Children can make an incredible contribution to society, the country, and the world through their works of art, which is their expression and perception of what life is. But when it comes to interpreting unknown artwork, they run into difficulty due to a lack of knowledge of the cultural background of the work. Adults similarly experience these limitations. Samples of children's works of art and how they can readily discuss their works are presented below. Slides 27 to 29 illustrate how the children advocated and stuck up for the disabled members of their families and communities. Their drawings and descriptions are genuine, real, and virtuous. They portray their feelings and compassion for people who are feeble and helpless. In trying to understand the power within artwork, first and second graders were asked to produce artworks on how they celebrated their Memorial Day. Analyzing their pictures, though different as seen in slides 31 and 32, there is a common idea in their works and descriptions. Their pictures depict the joy of Memorial Day celebration, as expressed in spending time with family and friends, having family dinner, working out with their dogs, having cookout, and so forth. These pictures express their ingenuity and creativity, which are highly admired. However, when it came time to analyze artwork from another producer, the children struggled to apply the same level of perception because of limited experience and skill. The last set of children's artworks in slides 33 and 34 were drawn by two friends, Camilleson, a fourth grader, and Kirsten Lieber, a fifth grader. They were asked to draw and describe a summer activity they were involved in. Both friends decided to portray excitement at the end of school year. Camille drew a picture of herself and classmates running out of school into the ball of summer while loud rockets disposed of school in a joyful way. Kirsten drew a picture of herself and her friends walking out of school and saying goodbye to their last day in elementary school. Both pictures are expressions of their artistic ability, joy and excitement for end of school year. When they were asked to talk about each other's work, they did it also with ease because they were familiar with the environments. An artwork cannot be fully experienced and interpreted for its aesthetic and functional contents in isolation from background knowledge of its environment, as well as the motive of the producer. This happened to me in my initial encounter with a painting produced by Elizabeth Locke, a mother of my colleague Patricia Cordeiro. Because I knew very little about the artist, her relationship with her painting, and the cultural background and setting of the artwork, I could not fairly validate the inherent qualities of the work, even though I was deeply attracted to her dexterity and the aesthetic quality of her painting. I was therefore curious to learn more about the people in the painting and their cultures. This painting was what actually inspired me to carry out this study on the power within the possibility of an authentic artwork in education. The purpose was to find out how far participants in the study would go in their perceptions and analysis of the aesthetic qualities of the work, and if their interpretations of the art content were based on knowledge of the cultural setting and societal values of the people. 30 adults and a total of 94 students ranging from 1st to 5th grade analyzed the painting and recorded their responses. Aside from favorable aesthetic comments from majority of them, the interpretations of what they thought was going on in the painting were diverse and personal. Some reported that the painting was dark and scary. However, there was one participant who was able to look beyond the aesthetic traits and ponder the possibility that the color scheme represented the mood of the characters or that of the producer. From similar opinions of adults and students, it is evident that more needs to be provided in educational programs to ensure that students grow and mature into individuals possessing essential skills of critical analysis to understand and cope with the diversity of our contemporary pluralistic society. Thus, the power within arts is a crucial tool for teachers to possess to help students connect superficial and more astute kinds of perception. To heighten the results of my study, I turned to Mircea Eliade's contention in his study The Forge and the Crucible, that there is indeed only one way of understanding a cultural phenomenon which is alien to one's own ideological pattern, and that is to place oneself at its very center, and from there to track down all the values that radiate from it. The above citation and Elizabeth Locke's painting have given me the impetus to broaden the boundary of social studies for diverse learners to include implementation of the power within authentic artwork. There is beauty, knowledge, and value in art which expresses human diversity. Through our teachings, we can help children unify our cultures to survive together and to strive beyond our differences. Creating unity in diversity for all people and resolving distrust, conflict, and hostility will lead to peace and harmony in the world. Please, let us give art a chance to help in revolutionizing the world, for it will tone the rough edges in man and woo peace. Possible activities for participants. The classroom is a small microcosm of a state, a country, and the world. It is also a place where students first become aware of differences in people and ideas. If nurtured properly, it would be in the classroom that students could learn to appreciate those differences and work for the common good. Now, discuss the above statements in light of the presentation and your own personal experiences. What possibilities can the inherent power of art provide in education? How can we utilize knowledge of diverse cultures and values to improve teaching and learning? Thank you for your time.